Hi, welcome to a classy kind of trashy.
Oh, she got it right today! Yay!
We are very excited today because we have a special guest.
DJ LP in the house.
That's right. And do we call you Lori Lewis? Or do we call you Lori Pratico?
Lori Pratico.
Lori Pratico. Just want to make sure I get it right.
She's got
And
lots of aliases.
She does.
Yes.
And she has a very seedy past.
We like her.
That's right. She fits right in.
So she's here today and we're going to talk to her for a while. And I guess we should introduce ourselves.
Oh, I'm Lori. The
Cheryl.
other Lori.
The other Lori.
The Lori.
There's multiple Loris today. I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Tracy. And so welcome. Lori is a fantastic local artist. And
Majorly fantastic.
I would say like
Everybody
I would say like
just
awesome.
oogles and ogles over her paintings. And they're really, really, she's just this wonderful natural talent that we all wish we had.
Absolutely.
So yes. So what got you started on painting people? I mean, like what made you like? I mean, like so many people like decide they might pick up a brush or they want to draw, but like, you know, when you first started drawing, like as a child, did you draw? What did you draw?
I always drew people.
Always
I always
drew
drew
people.
nothing but people.
Really?
Yeah, it was how I connected with people.
Was it? So it was people you knew.
Mostly, but
It wasn't
just,
like somebody you saw on TV.
sometimes. Like I think one of my very first drawings was of David Bowie.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you still have
Yeah.
that?
No, it was damaged in a
With-
flood.
with-
I had a lot of artwork that got
With
damaged in a
glitter
flood.
or without glitter? Like which Bowie? Which version of Bowie?
Bowie smoking a cigarette, very natural, very like
Ah.
just kind of candid.
Mm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was my way of connecting with people. I was very quiet. I was a popular kid, but I was the kind like nobody really knew me
Mhm.
kind of thing, and that was my little escape and my way to kind of express myself and who I really was, and that's how I really felt connected to other people. So I just had no interest in drawing anything but people.
So did you do that like in school? I mean, did you ever do like art in school, or was it just something that was more like you had your little book and like people didn't really know about it, or?
I mean, I took the typical, art classes in grade school and that kind of thing, and always did well. And people kind of knew that I did better than some of the other kids, so I was given more opportunities than some of the other kids. But my mother wanted me to type and be a secretary when I grew up. So I didn't go to art school. And I just, it was pretty much just something I did for myself. Actually, my very first painting I only did about 7 years ago.
Wow.
Was my first
Wow.
painting. I've always drawn with pencil, and people started asking me to do portraits of them and use color. And I was like, well, how am I going to do that? So I naturally went into pastels because that was an easy transition for me. Painting scared me to death because I didn't know how. And about 7-8 years ago, I did my very first painting and have kind of just kept experimenting with it.
And it's awesome because, like, I mean, at least the stuff that I see of you, not only are you painting, but you paint big.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love,
You know,
I
she
love
she
that.
paints big.
Huge picture.
Yeah.
Like she painted one of me.
Two.
Trying to be humble. There's no room in my house for it. If I put one in my house, I would look very narcissistic. But it's just,
But it would look
hangs-
amazing.
Yeah, we cover the wall. We can do the whole wall.
but it is my salon above my chair.
There you go.
So it is awesome. Everybody thinks I own the place now.
Right?
It's really funny.
Yeah.
Like, are you the owner? I'm like, no.
That's great.
What's easier for you, or what's the difference between painting? Because I know you've done most of the paintings on canvas, but you've done some on wood.
Mhm.
So what is?
I really like wood.
You like
as
wood
a medium.
better?
I just like the way the paint moves and how it blends, and on canvas it tends to drag, and you can't blend as easily. Because I'm self-taught, I don't know how you're supposed to do things. So I just kind of do it the way I do it and what works for me. And I find wood to be an easier medium for me. But honestly, the reason that I paint, like you girls are why I paint people. You know, it's without people like you, I would have no inspiration to paint people.
Well,
Like
that
crazy.
is interesting because when you mentioned like your inspiration, because I was going to ask you what is your inspiration, because I know you like to paint things that aren't typical or what you would consider typical people.
My series is called Dare to be Different. So I've always chosen people that I felt did exactly that they dared to be different than what society would consider the norm.
Which we're so thankful for that.
Yeah,
Right?
And
So thankful for that.
I was raised to be very self-conscious. I was taught to be self-conscious of everything about myself, how I spoke, how I looked, how I presented myself, every single thing. And my parents thought that was a good thing, that's how they should raise me. So I don't discredit them for that because they thought they were doing the right thing. But I was a lesbian artist and wanted to express myself in an atmosphere where I was being told, no, you're supposed to really fit this mold, you know, so it didn't work well for me. But
especially too if you don't have creative parents, you know what I mean, or
Right.
parents that encourage that. Like, I mean, I do art not on your level. It's funny because at the salon people say, "Oh, did you do that?" I'm like, "No, that's another Lori." I wouldn't be working here if I did that.
I so envy your art. Like I totally, your henna and the way, I mean, her lines. I did a portrait of Lori, and a lot of it is of her henna, and I can't even. I was painting it, and I'm like, okay, because I'm very meticulous about details. So I kept going back and looking at the detail and saying to myself, okay, one of these lines has got to be off, and not one thing was off. And the fact that you do it on a human body that's moving
Fast, and she doesn't
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, I just talking about like being an artist and like, you know, not having any parental support. You know what I mean? It's like it still causes a rift with me and my family. I think just when you're a creative person, you know, the way you express yourself or anything else, it's like, you know, like none of my parents like got that. Like nobody ever encouraged that. I was drawing from a little child, but I drew more cartoon. I love drawing the peanuts and, you know, like things like I would you know, draw things, of course, always flowers and things, but you know, but yeah, neither one of my parents ever just, they never said, like, I look at my son and I was like, wow, he's a writer. I want to encourage him in that because he's such a talented writer. I don't know if it's a generation thing. Or,
I don't think
you
my
know.
parents knew how to support me.
Mm-hmm.
They literally did not. It's not that they didn't want to, because they
Yeah, it
thought
just
what
didn't
they
dawn
were
on
doing
them.
was the right thing.
Because the time
They
frame that
thought
they
that
were raised
yeah.
in, they figured you have kids and you raise them the way that you were
Right.
raised because that's what you
Right.
know. You don't.
You know, they wanted me to be able to get a job, and they wanted me
Sure.
to be able to do, you know, to make a living, and they wanted me to be, you know, they wanted me to be happy in the long run. And it took me a long time to realize that, you know, that it wasn't something against me. It just, they really didn't know how to
Right.
support me. So I had to learn how to do that myself and learn how to believe in myself. And it's something that was so innate in me. It's something that I haven't painted in about 2 months because I started a new job.
I know, and we're very upset
No,
about that
it's
because
been-
we were always looking forward to like some
It's
posting of like a half of a
Absolutely.
teaser of like what section of she does the big reveal when she's finished with something.
Yeah.
So she would always post a picture, like for example when she was gonna do Lori's for a show, she did give us a picture of it beforehand, but it was her moving the picture in front of the whole thing, so you only got these little glimpses. So it's like we have
Yeah.
been like just starved for that.
Well,
We
wait
wanna
till
see
the
you
new
working
year.
on something.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
the
has
new year
been
comes.
empty. It has been
There's gonna be a lot for the new year.
Good.
You're first, actually. Yeah.
Good.
But it's so in me. It feels like there's something inside of me that has to burst, that wants to burst to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I haven't painted in 2 months, I feel like I'm going to explode if I don't paint, kind of thing. You know, but the break is kind of good too, because that's kind of how you rediscover. Oh, I love
This is
you.
Angel. This is our mascot. Yeah,
I will paint you. I
she's-
promise. You can be one of my portraits. Yes.
Thank
No,
you.
I already said yes. I said yes.
Oh no! Now she's got a friend.
I know, right?
I said yes.
Angel, come on.
Angel has to be in
She
every
just- yeah,
single
that was
episode.
I noticed that.
She
It's
has to be.
wonderful.
She
But I don't
can't
think she's
stand
ever
it.
gotten quite this close.
No, this is new.
No.
She heard you
Oh,
talking
you're
about
stuck in the holes
portraits.
in my sweater.
I heard you talking about
Angel,
portraits.
come on.
Angel.
Now she's so excited.
Come on. She's like, I'm not
Here's
getting
to try
down.
to calm down.
I wish all the girls got this excited.
Silly girl. Okay, come on. Come on.
Oh,
Oh.
all right.
She's okay.
She's good. She's up.
She's okay.
But yes, I really have to say that I mean, there's something. We've been talking. I have a little right here.
It's
Yeah.
about animal love.
The camera can't see that, right?
There we go.
There's something about a person's eyes and their facial expression, and people have been saying to me, because I paint faces, that maybe I should get away from that and paint figures because it might sell better. But I can't. I could take a million body shots and I still end up on the face.
But people
because
like faces.
that's what I connect with.
Classy kind of trashy.
That was a good save. That was a great save.
She needs to be close.
But people like faces because, like, what I've noticed that even, and I'm not insulting anybody's craft or creativity, but people like to identify with something, and if it has eyes, that people kind of feel something when they see something that has an eye, and it's like it has a face. So they either they're just, it draws them in more because,
Yeah,
and I think
absolutely.
that's even though there is an element of attraction and sexiness in images that aren't just a facial feature, but the way that, especially your art, the way that you do it, where it's not just like an exact portrait of whatever colors are in the like you take it and you make it into something totally, you interpret it your own, like what you did with Tracy's was all mostly whited out with the little hints of pink and whatever, which was not exactly like what, like, I'm sure you were going by for Tracy, but that's what the end result is. So it just, you put so much into it, and I think that faces for you give off more emotion. Especially the
100%.
ones that you pick, because you don't just pick a photograph of somebody. Just it says something. You get drawn into that, and then you expand on whatever that feeling is that hit you when you saw that photograph.
Absolutely.
You even take photographs of models yourself, and
Which I
please.
really should leave to the experts, like
But
Chris
please,
Starry.
share the
She's
share the
fabulous,
share
and
the-
she does a lot of my photography.
But share the story, the lovely, lovely, lovely story of when you decided that you were going to just to save time and money, take pictures of the lovely Tracy at the park.
Well, the reason why I wanted to take the photos is because when I don't know someone really well, which at the time Tracy and I still didn't really know each other real well, it's a way for me to get to know them better.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm taking the photographs, I can connect more so that when I paint,
And
I'm
we
more
got to know
connected.
each other very well.
They had
that
some-
day.
They had some serious bug bites.
Yeah, so poor Tracy, she looked amazing. She had her hair perfect. It was
Poor girl.
curled.
Who did
it
your
was,
makeup
it
that
was
day?
amazing.
Adrian did the makeup.
She looked fabulous.
Adrian does it all. Adrian Amenta.
Adrian, yeah, she's amazing, and
We-
she
yeah,
she came over
was
and did the
amazing.
makeup,
And we drove about 10 minutes away to a park to go be one with nature. And were we one with nature? So it rained right before we got there.
Yeah.
And we went in. Tracy says, "Oh, well, we can go into this really cool little spot." And she leads me through the woods, and I'm like,
It is a fabulous
It is a
spot.
very
Yeah,
cool
these
spot.
amazing trees.
It's the one where your henna, we did your
Yes,
henna shoot.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
It's
and
an
it
amazing
is
spot.
amazing trees.
So I put the camera down and I tell her to go kind of stand over there, and all of a sudden I see her kind of smacking herself, and I'm like, are there mosquitoes? And I start to feel them, and I start smacking myself, and I look at her, and her beautiful white skin has turned black
From all the skiers.
because there were probably a million of them on her.
And Florida
And then I
mosquitoes,
looked
big
at
thing.
myself, and
The
they were
size of this
I was
plate.
completely covered in mosquitoes.
Yeah.
It was like a horror movie.
It was. I was
Attack the
literally
killer
what you couldn't
mosquitoes.
see skin.
It was like a horror movie.
Your face, your hair, everywhere, up your
Yeah.
legs. It was the entire.
So I was like, we're out of here. So we grabbed everything and we
were
ran
running,
out.
doing this the whole time.
And we got in the car, and they're in the car with us.
Oh my gosh.
And then I was like, well, like we can't, now her hair has fallen. And I'm like, but we can't ruin this moment.
Now
We
she's
planned
getting
for this.
wealthy.
I'm totally.
So I said, are you okay with, let's just take a few pictures. Are you okay with that? And she said, sure, we can, of course, we
It's
can
not
take some.
in the
Because I'm a picture
So-
Near the
whore.
water.
Yeah, so I
picture
quickly
whore.
put-
So I'm like, I'll take a picture.
But you know, Tracy, a house could fall on Tracy, and she could be missing a
I'll
limb.
take a picture.
And if somebody says, "Can you
Take
pose?"
over.
And if somebody says, "Can you pose?" Tracy will go and look gorgeous
Yes.
with no limb,
Well.
bleeding, but
She'll be
And
like,
she did look gorgeous. She did look gorgeous. We set a
She
blanket
did.
down, and
the
she,
one with
and
the
she
hat.
said,
I love
the
the
only
one
thing
with the
is when I paint her, I have to take out all the welts.
Wells.
Of the mosquito bites.
She
'Cause
did.
when I tell you, literally, they were just all of a sudden they started to appear, and it was like she had the chicken pox. They were all over her. I felt so
that
bad.
is so funny.
And she
But-
said when she was taking the picture, she didn't say it to me at the time, and not until later. She's like, but you were covered. Like, she was taking pictures, my back was covered.
And well, big red welts.
Just big red splotches everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
She
It's
already
tough
did.
being beautiful.
I'm gonna leave one welt in the post. Just like a reminder, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's a good
And,
idea.
and I think we're gonna name it Bitten.
Once bitten, twice shy.
That'll be the name of
It's
it,
more
so.
like this.
1 million bits.
But I literally, like, I dream about your painting. Like, I wake up and I think about it. I go to sleep and I think about it. I'm very ready to paint that painting. So.
Yeah, well,
She's
yeah.
an artist.
She did say, well, even the photos, and I know I didn't see them all. I know you
You
didn't
didn't,
share them all.
you didn't see the one I'm painting.
But they were great. She's good as a photographer as well as an artist.
thank
So there you go.
Thank
And she's also the best DJ.
Oh,
DJ
yeah.
LP.
Speaking of DJs, I think we should all do a shot.
Okay.
If you'd like
Alright.
a lime, here
Yes,
we
like
go.
An episode or two back, we were talking about the Day of the Dead Festival. We're talking about Dr. Sketchy's. And if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. I don't know if it's episode 5 or 6. And we were talking about the amazing
We have
DJ.
Day of the Dead
and,
faces.
and this is the amazing DJ that we were speaking
Yes, yes.
All right.
of. Cheers.
All right.
The beautiful girls.
I'm
an
lost in the
inspiration.
comfy couch.
Mm.
Thank you, Cheryl, for the shot glasses.
I'm the only one who needs a lime, huh?
Yeah, we worked it out this
Wow.
I got it from the.
These are little guns.
They're experienced.
I got it from the.
Take your best shot.
Yeah, I got it when I
In
just
South
traveled.
Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. I got it from. Remember I told you the
Oh,
guy I
the
was
guy
speaking to
Greenville.
that's from Greenville.
Yummy.
And while I think I was his biggest sale that day because you buy 4 shot. How many did I get? 3 shot glasses and a Red Bull or something, whatever I got at a gas station / Quick Mart in South Carolina when it's 40 degrees or less and rainy and cold. And he was just the nicest guy, and he probably had the best sale of the night because those things, you know, when you buy them at the rest stops, they're not as cheap as you get them, but they're adorable.
Where
Yeah,
were
they're
you
great.
at? We're at in South Carolina. Do you remember?
Gosh, I don't remember. I'd have to look at their gas receipt because, you know, Rick saves them all. But yeah, he was the nicest guy, and he was just, you know, it's one of those ones where it's like, it didn't have a name for the gas station, but it's like if you walk into the gas station Quick Mart part and you go straight through, you go right to the McDonald's. It's one of those connected ones, and it's a popular one that's like one that people stop at frequently because it's right off the road. I just don't know what the name of it was because they didn't have a sign, and I kept wanting to like because I was going to text
Shout
you
out.
and tell you that I was talking to the guy that was also from Greenville, which is where she's from, but I kept looking at the building and I was like, nothing, so they must have been changing over or something, so. But yes, that's where I got those, because I just thought they were adorable, because we
I love them.
because we like shots, and we like guns, and shots and guns, you know, if anyone has seen the episode that was when we had the tequila
We had
coming
a
out of my
tequila
gun,
gun.
yes.
Oh,
So-
watch.
Okay.
Don't make
Oh,
sense.
and Angel loves the limes, so she's
Yeah, she. Yeah.
she's
I'm letting her do whatever
It's
she
really
wants.
the attention.
yeah, she's
Just if you just pat her down and be in the middle of you, then she'll.
I love
Hopefully.
Angel.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with Angel.
So on to DJ LP.
yes, DJ
Okay, music. Like I mean,
Music.
you like when we go listen to her. I mean, she plays. Okay, so we're all like in our 40s. But it doesn't matter.
Ooh.
Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
Hey.
That's-
hey.
yes. That has nothing to do with how old we are.
No, but she does this great mix of like alternative and like some modern and like you know like
And
I mean,
makes it
good-
work.
Oh, it was just
Yeah.
wonderful. I mean, everybody, they should hire you. Like,
Aw.
Stash. It's
Thank
Stash,
you.
please. Everybody that knows about how good your music was, you
Thank
know?
you very
so,
much.
It's very, yes.
And a good career.
I really enjoy music. That's just my thing. Like
Yeah.
art and music were always my thing.
Because
so.
you love emotion and
Right.
and with visualizing your art and putting the emotion you feel from it and making sure that it conveys that, music probably does the same thing.
Yeah, well, music makes me feel something.
Yeah.
So what I can usually connect what feeling I want by the music
By
I
the music,
play.
yeah.
but I
So-
mean, do you have all that stuff downloaded to your computer?
A lot of it, yes.
Wow.
A lot of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I
mean,
wish.
I always try to add some new things for each Dr. Sketchy's event, which that kind of happened by accident. The very first Dr. Sketchy's, there were like 4 models from Cupcake Burlesque that were posing. And they had a great turnout, which they weren't expecting because it was the first one. They didn't know how many people would come. And like 40 people showed up, and these models, and there was one bartender.
Oh,
I was
my
at
gosh.
stage 84 at the time, and
Oh,
Mama
yeah,
was
yeah.
bartending. And I said, Mama, you need help? And she was like, all the girls
think
were
their
throwing
max-
their iPods at her,
Yeah.
saying, play my music.
Yeah, and I think that place
So-
has a max
Oh,
capacity of
she-
35.
So she said,
Yeah.
will you
40
play the
songs.
music? So she asked, I said, you need help? She said, will you play the music? And I was like, sure. So I played the music the first night, and then I just all of a sudden became my thing. It was like all of a sudden I was playing the music, and I was like, okay, I can't get like labeled that the only thing I have is Pink and Melissa Etheridge. So,
I love
you're-
Melissa
but-
Etheridge.
yeah. But
I
you're,
do.
yeah.
I really
you know,
do.
so
But
Phoebe
you're-
Hawkins,
But your
and
music
you know,
is
it's
awesome
like,
because even the Dr. Sketchies that we went to, the one
Oh,
time when
yes.
we went to the one where Aurora
Aurora.
was doing it, Aurora, hi, and she was doing her, she was doing the Dr. Sketchies modeling, but she also did like a 3-minute one of her burlesque routines. She's awesome. But you were doing the music then, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Because I'm not a
draw.
drawer. It was the first time I ever drew. So I was just basically going there to support friends and to do whatever. And I was so enjoying the music because I wasn't as focused in drawing because I'm not an artist in that way. But I loved the music. The music was awesome.
Thank you.
And
that
that-
makes me feel really good because it's obvious. It's not really what I do,
Right.
you
but
know.
it's
But I love
No,
doing
but
it.
But you make
It
people
is-
feel things,
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
the thing. If you feel something and you want to have people experience that, that's why you're an artist. You do it through your art. You do it
The
through your music
combination
choices.
of having a beer and the music.
Oh. It's
You
the,
know,
it's
and
the
drawing,
best Thursday night.
You know,
you
it
could
really
have.
it really is a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, like after that, especially when they were at 5 Points, which
Yeah, I
I
love
wish
it.
they were
I
still
know.
there.
Yeah.
Me too.
5 Points Lounge, you're missing out.
Especially since it was smoke free, because let me tell you,
Yes.
smoke free
And they
people,
carried great beers.
smoke free.
Yeah.
Gotta go smoke free.
But,
More people will go.
You know, after that, because it was someplace that was, local, and I felt
Yeah.
good, I didn't have a problem going by myself.
Right.
So I
Absolutely.
could bring my pad, I
Yeah.
could draw. So I had actually done that another time, just to go because
Yeah.
I'm gonna hear good music, have a good beer, draw. You
Yeah,
know.
there's really
Eat-
really
Eat
nothing
a good
like
wiener.
it.
Yes,
Eat a good
but that's a whole
That's a
whole
whole
other
other
topic.
topic,
But
but we asked Frankie
very
about
funny, and I was even talking about with Adam Ferrer today from Creepy Tiki. Hi there. He did this awesome, beautiful tattoo
Really
that
gorgeous.
I
I know.
love. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was even saying how good your music was.
Oh, that's
so we were
awesome.
saying, he
That's
said,
great.
yeah, she did play really
That's
good
great.
music. So, anyways,
That's great.
I guess it's time to wrap up this video. We thank Lori so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us, and
I feel very very honored. Thank you.
next
Our
time we'll
first
see
guest.
you. It's gonna be Christmas.
That's
Yes.
right. And we could give our shout out to.
Oh, Daryl.
Don't forget Daryl.
Norman.
We're doing it. Oh, we
All right, we'll do it. We'll
Have
have
to
to
do-
toast.
To the toast.
Norman, we have to drive.
That's right.
we have to drive tonight. Shot next time. Christmas
That's
shot.
right. That's right.
Mwah!
Don't forget to extend your invitation. Home cooked meal.
Home cooked meal, shots. We want to do a spoof video. Yes. We'll have a grand old time. Love
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi. Thank you for watching another episode of A Classic and a Trashy. Don't forget to
Like and comment.
and subscribe.
Subscribe.
See, that's why we remind you, because you have to do all that stuff, because the more people that we get to like and comment and subscribe,
The funnier we get.